Packers and the Vikings atop of the NFC North.
Lions will not, again, unless catastrophe happens, I do not see the Lions being anywhere near the top of that division. He's a mid quarterback? Gonna tell me that the Vikings are gonna go from 8-9 to 7-10? Under what cause? Evan O'Connell, who already has all of Minnesota and all of the NFL clamoring over him. Jeff, Sports Illustrated came out with their NFC North predictions, and specifically where they put the Lions was...
It's gracious.
Look, I don't want to say crazy.
No.
I just think, what are you seeing that I'm not?
I don't have a problem with the Lions. I have a problem with another team that
I do as well. Michael, when you can.
They have on there.
This is the latest SI NFC North prediction. The Packers winning the division at 11-6.
I can see that, by the way.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions at 9-8.
Over the Vikings.
Over a 7.
By 2 wins.
The only thing they got right was the Bears, in my opinion. The Bears being 3-14 sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go 0-17. That's just my opinion. I don't like the Bears. You all know this. We don't have to go over it again. But to say the Vikings, who have an offensive-minded coach coming in, with a team loaded on offense,
ready to win right now,
with a defense that has been miserable, even under a defensive-minded coach that will probably and likely improve this year, they're going to regress and be 7-10. Really? The Vikings are going to win the division. And if anything, they will be the team at 11-6, in my opinion. It'll be the Packers at 10-7 or 9-8. And the Lions are going to have to sit there at 7-10 or 8-9.
So, I want to look up, just for context, I wanted to look at last year's standings. They have... Okay, so the Vikings went 8-9 last year.
They're going to regress.
With
Mike Zimmer gone.
They're basically saying...
You won 2 more games now because Mike Zimmer's gone. You guys forget, by the way, Mike Zimmer held a fucking charity for your football team, you motherfuckers. You should know better than anybody. Mike Zimmer let you win a football game last year. Hell, he let you win your first football game of the year last year. Are you kidding me?
And he choked some games.
Stop it. Stop it. The Zimmer project was failing.
Yeah, it was. It was a disaster, especially last year. That's why listen. I agree with the Green Bay Packers. I think 11-6 is fair. It's actually where I have them as well. The 9-8.
You ready for this?
That's one win better than I would think, but I just don't think they'll be second in the division. What's up?
I am gonna give you a sample size. Okay. Over the last 2 years, 4,200 yards, 4,200 yards. Okay, for player X. Player X threw for 35 touchdowns and 33 touchdowns in the last 2 years. Player X threw 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and then 7 interceptions last year. Player X. Player Y, on the other hand, are you ready for his stats?
Mm-hmm.
Player Y last season threw for, the year prior, 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns. Last year, 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns. 10 picks, 15 picks. Pretty comparable, right?
Yeah.
Would you call that player a mid-player? I'm asking.
I would say that quarterback puts up numbers.
So, player X threw for 68 touchdown passes. Player Y, in the last 2 years, has thrown for 73. Player X has thrown for 20 interceptions, and player Y has thrown 25 interceptions. More than player X. Player X has thrown for 8,400 yards. Player Y has thrown for 8,900 yards. Not much of a difference. Right? Player X is Kirk Cousins. Player Y is Josh Allen.
I was going to say...
And no, Kirk Cousins is not Josh Allen. He absolutely is not.
I was going to say, give me the team record, but that gives it away a little bit. But still, your point's right. I mean, they both put up numbers. But they're different quarterbacks.
Kirk Cousins last year, with a failing coaching system,
still played well.
No offensive line, no Dalvin Cook, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Mid? He's a mid quarterback? Bro. Okay. Coming off a career year with a defensive coach, with a defense that let him down every game, with an offensive line that couldn't protect him, with Dalvin Cook who couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah. I do think
You really think the Vikings with Kevin O'Connell, who already has all of Minnesota and all of the NFL clamoring over him, you think they're not going to improve? Guys, that's something.
And listen, say what you want about Kirk Cousins in big games. The guy still is, I mean, I think he gets disrespected a little too much, too. And I know the difference as well. Pat Riley says Josh Allen can run, though. Yeah, well, again, it's not about comparing the quarterbacks individually because we know Josh Allen is a Super Bowl winning quarterback or can win a quarterback, Super Bowl potential winning, which I think they'll win the Super Bowl this year, the Bills. Kirk, say what you want about him, 30-plus touchdowns the last 2 seasons. It's pretty impressive. And I think with an offensive-minded coach like Kevin O'Connell, they can definitely make some noise. So, listen, I don't get the at least Sports Illustrated sleeping on the Vikings. I think they're going to be pretty good. I like the Vikings. I know Braylon likes the Vikings as well. He has them, second? If I'm not believed, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Yesterday on his predictions, he had them second in the NFC North. I don't think he had them first. But who knows? Or, no, he might have had them first, actually, 12-5. I have to double-check. But, again, the point is, it's not just me that's high on this offense or on this team with the Vikings. I do. I think the Vikings are going to be good this year, and I still have the Packers and the Vikings atop of the NFC North. But Sports Illustrated disagrees.
Which offense do you like more right now? All of you, be objective.
Okay, tell me.
Green Bay or Minnesota's?
I would say Minnesota's. The only thing keeping Green Bay really is Aaron Rodgers. Other than Aaron, yeah, I
but
like
you got
Green
Dalvin
Bay's.
Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen.
And
a better offensive line than last year. And a quarterback who's coming off 4,200, 33-7. Aaron Rodgers throwing to Alan Lazard.
Yeah, no.
Sammy Watkins.
Hey, you're
going to take the Vikings offense. Oh, defense. 100% Green Bay. More talented. Green Bay's probably a top 5, top 7 defense this year, easily.
And I think that's what edges them.
Maybe you're right. But I'm sorry. It's the Vikings who are going to take a step forward.
Yeah.
And again, guys, the basic fundamental football common sense. You see it every year, right? The new coach comes in. Half of them flake out and never make it in the NFL. A few of them do okay. And then there's 1 or 2 every year that do a phenomenal job the moment they walk in. Who are you betting your money on? Nathaniel Hackett in the AFC West? Brian Dable with Daniel Jones as his quarterback? Who else? You tell me. Mike McDaniels out in Miami. I could buy that. But if I'm putting my money, it's on the guy that just took over a team with Kirk Cousins coming off his best season ever, along with Justin Jefferson, arguably the first, second, third best wide receiver in the NFL, depends who you ask. Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, an offense that he will open up completely, alongside of there's no way the Minnesota defense can be worse than what they were last year.
Right.
That team's not going to improve, though. Give me the offensive-minded coach coming into an offensive situation where the team had a bad year last year at 8-9, and I think they're 3 games better this year.
And Dalvin was injured last year as well, so the Vikings dealt with some other things. Defensively, I get it. There's questions, but listen, if they can fix the whole, there's a lot of close games the Vikings had last year. They lost by a field goal. Remember that? So we'll see.
Talk about
I think
the Lions having an easy schedule. Last I checked, the NFC North teams all play the same teams, outside of the place teams from another division.
You're 100% right. So if you like the team better, they have an easy schedule.
I'm all for the Lions winning more games. I absolutely believe it to be true.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. The Lions will not, again, unless catastrophe happens, I do not see the Lions being anywhere near the top of that division unless Green Bay completely falls off.
Aaron Rodgers gets injured.
The only way the Lions finish second, in my opinion, this year is if Aaron Rodgers goes and hosts Jeopardy and does a bunch of mushroom weird stuff with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, there's got to be an injury to a quarterback. Kirk or Aaron Rodgers. That's the only way I see them two in the division.
That's crazy to me. The Vikings at 7-10. The Vikings are going to win less games than the Detroit Lions. Wow. Can you throw that up one more time?
Yeah.
I need to see it one more time.
Just digest it. Yeah, let's just digest it.
And look, you know what? Maybe my own opinion is getting in my way. Maybe, just maybe. Because I do have the Vikings winning the division. But you can't justify that to me. You tell me how the Lions are 9-8, how they're 6 games better. You tell me. You tell me how they are going to triple their win total. And I'm not trying to knock the Lions here. I'm just trying to be very realistic.
Right.
I think 7-10. That's a pretty solid season for them. 8-9, I think would be pretty damn good going into year 2. But you're gonna tell me that the Vikings are gonna go from 8-9 to 7-10 under what cause? They got a new coach who everybody in the NFL right now, we always point to who's the next Sean McVay, who's gonna be the next Story, who is the next one? Look at all the coaches that were hired in the offseason. Every year, one of them stands out. One of them minimum. A few do pretty good. One is an absolute home run standout, and everybody's like, damn, how do we not hire him? How'd he not go on? How'd he go under the radar?
When you know, you know. He's a good coach.
And then you have this situation.
Yeah.
Brian Dabble. You want to trust that one? Mike McDaniels? Maybe. Doug Peterson out in Jacksonville? Maybe. What else you got for me? Huh?
But the difference is, at least those guys, and listen, say what you want about Kirk. Kevin O'Connell at least has a guy who's thrown 30-plus touchdowns last 2 seasons. We'll see what he looks like in big games. That's a big question mark, and we don't know how Kirk looks like with big expectations, but that's the difference. Like you brought it up, Dable has Daniel Jones. McDaniels has Tua, which, listen, I like Tua, but I'm not sold on Tua. And then Doug Peterson has Trevor Lawrence in his second year, but go on.
I love this comment. Who stood out last year? Jeff, you know any rookie coaches that stood out last year?
Yeah.
Maybe my memory serves me wrong.
Yeah.
There's one specific one who stood out. What is it?
I was joking. I said Urban Meyer.
Yeah, Urban Meyer stood out for all the wrong reasons.
All the wrong
Mike's
reasons. Right. You have the guys that flake out. You guys have that kind of in the middle of the pack who keep their job, but you're not really certain of. There's guys that show some good stuff. And then you have, I don't know. Could be wrong. Brandon Staley. Did that not pop off your screen last year?
Yeah.
The way he handled the offense. Did he make mistakes as a rookie coach? Yeah, he did.
Went forward a little bit.
I don't think anybody is going into year 2 under Brandon Staley and saying,
some people have him to win the division.
That's they're not going to be as good. Brandon Staley. You guys got Justin Herbert playing out of his mind. He made Mike Williams look like a damn good player. Austin Eckler finally had a good year. Stop it.
And you gotta this is what people are getting twisted too.
Go for
NC Mallet compares Cousins to Allen, doesn't mention Allen's 700+ rushing yards.
Yeah, you dumb fuck. Because that's not what I'm going for. Yeah. I'm not telling you Kirk Cousins is Josh Allen, you dumb motherfucker.
You literally said.
So do me a favor, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Why don't you man, look, this is what you need to do before you comment on the YouTube chat. I need you to take whatever you're about to say, write it down on a piece of paper, okay? Go stand in the fucking corner and read it 15 motherfucking times. And then after you've read it 15 times, I really want you to think, should I say this? And how dumb am I? Always ask yourself before you comment in the chat. Read what you were going to say and ask yourself 15 times, how dumb do I sound? And if at any point of the 15 times you've asked yourself this, that you decide to say or answer, yes, I am very dumb, then don't comment.
You realize they're not going to say that.
Yeah, trust
Kirk Cousins has thrown the ball in very similar fashion in terms of production over the last 2 years as Josh Allen. And we're going to sit there and throw Cousins under the bus like he's some scrub. And like he's not going to improve now for the first time in a long time since he was in Washington. He now has an offensive coordinator, or an offensive-minded head coach.
Yeah, trust me.
Kick rocks.
No one's saying that Kirk's better than Josh Allen. That would be the stupidest statement. I would have came right at it
I
immediately.
will retire from the show day I sit here and say Josh Allen and Kirk Cousins are comparable in terms of athleticism, in terms of one being a franchise quarterback and the other not. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
You're on record. You've called
what the
Kirk
hell
a bridge
is all this
quarterback.
spam chat? Jesus.
All
right, anyways.
Man.
Remember, guys, new rule on the show. If you ever want to comment anything, I want you to write it down on a piece of paper, read it to yourself 15 times. And at any point in the 15 times, you think, oh man, that sounds really dumb, don't say it. Moving.